Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. Over there is Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are getting back to The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6. And, I mean, this is it. After what we saw in that last episode, I'm pretty sure there's only one way this can go for the rest of the season, and it's violent. However, still got a bad feeling about Dina.
You always have a bad feeling. But hey, I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to jump right back into here. Sorry about the voice. Just so excited. I lost it.
Last episode was pretty wild. We got the reveal, but then the short passing thereafter to somebody that Ellie was indeed immune. She's stuck down in the basement, but they don't know that she's still alive down there. So curious to see how this plays out. And I think the leg injury to Dina is as far as it's going to go. I think she's going to be all right, dude.
Yeah, that very last scene with a flashback is what I'm looking forward to in this episode, potentially, maybe. Hopefully we get some kind of flashbacks. Either way, looking forward to what we got. Let's go!
This is a mess.
Hey, Bob, we are way behind on schedule, so I'm gonna need you to get everything hooked up like yesterday. All this stuff needs to be done by tomorrow. Gotta have it done.
Boss, I'm not an electrician. I mean, shouldn't we wait for the pros?
This can't be that hard. Couple plugins, couple wires. It's not that big of a deal. We do not have time to wait for the electrician, so just get it done. I'm counting on you, all right?
I'm counting on you. Oh!
Jumping jackrabbits, Bob, what the hell happened?
Oh, I knew this was a bad idea.
Bob's instincts were right, but his supervisor didn't listen. Now Bob's injury could be worth millions.
Wait, did you say millions? Who are these professionals that can help me?
Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm with more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client. But Bob is worried because he doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees. Worry no more. When your boss puts you in a dangerous situation and you get hurt, don't settle for less than you deserve. Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you every penny. And the best part? It's completely free unless you win. But Bob feels conflicted. He doesn't want to sue his boss, even if the company hasn't paid him for the last 6 months. When you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing their insurance company. There's no reason to feel bad about getting the compensation you deserve. So if you've been a victim in a car accident, medical malpractice, workplace injury, or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you. Bob did, and he sure is thankful Morgan & Morgan had his back.
It'll be fine.
He's gonna beat the shit out of me.
I said it'll be fine.
I'm gonna get the belt.
No, you're not. I will.
Joel and Tommy? Yeah.
Dad was a cop.
I like the sound design, just on the real heavy footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be a bad guy.
I'm back on patrol in 30 minutes.
That's our swordsman.
You know what happened?
Yeah, well, I want to hear it from you.
I was buying pot from this other kid. He tried to rip me off and we got into a fight.
I think Tommy was buying the drugs, not you.
Tommy didn't do it.
I talked to the kid you beat up, Joel. And if you and Tommy weren't my sons, you'd both be in juvie right now.
You're not gonna hurt him.
I love how there's no sound design, like no music, I should say, right now.
Oh.
Just
Grab
the clock in the background.
It's back on patrol in 30 minutes, huh?
That was 83. You could do that. Pretty sure you could drink and drive back then, too.
Most places, yep.
Did I ever tell you about that time I stole a candy bar? Grandpa found out, made me give it back, made me apologize to the cashier. And then we went home. Just before I got out of the car, man, he broke my jaw.
Oh, damn.
You know what it feels like, then why?
That's not why I'm telling you this. Okay, yeah, I've hit you. And I've hit Tommy. But never like that. I mean, maybe I go too far. I don't know. But I'm doing a little better than my father did.
Wow.
This guy's crushing this scene.
I hope you do a little better than me.
So much in this first bit. Joel being the big brother to protect his little brother, and
Protector, really.
Yeah.
What a
Learning about the dad and
Yeah.
got to see Lalo. I mean,
what a story that was. Folks, we're going to let the intro roll like we normally do.
I mean, his character was so lighthearted in Hawkeye. To see him come in and deliver that sort of performance was pretty impressive.
yeah, he certainly wasn't a Salamanca in that,
He
that
was
scene.
not. What a line, though. I hope you do a little bit better
Yeah.
too.
I have to double check. I believe he won a Emmy actually for White Lotus.
Oh, he's in White Lotus?
The first season. I believe so.
I haven't
I have
watched
to double
it.
check.
I know folks have asked for a reaction.
It's on the list.
I've seen, I am the only one that's seen season 1 and 2. Amazing. Oh, it's back to 2.
Whoa.
for this episode, so yeah.
Interesting.
What are they doing there?
Oh, flashbacks, Quinn.
The new guy. Like I said, got something for me?
Legos.
My grandkids are gonna love these. How'd you find them?
Search the old homes out by Hoback. I know where to look because I'm a smuggler and you're
I was a cop. Milwaukee PD.
Hey, shit, Milwaukee. Already end up in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Trade's a trade. We can make what you want and have it to you by Friday.
No, I need it by tomorrow.
Vanilla or chocolate? Say vanilla, it's easier.
Oh, I need one more thing.
Oh boy.
Relax. You got a lot of them.
Birthday gift, maybe? Or what are we thinking?
Is that Kurt? Yep, that's Kurt. Oh, is this for the guitar? Yep.
Yep.
Look at that.
And the watch.
Oh, it's pretty handy with that Dremel tool.
Did all right.
No, you're not kidding.
And he basically custom made this whole guitar for Ellie. Now it has even more meaning. Holy shit.
What happened?
Oh, where'd you come from?
Painkiller. She's all right. Come on. Painkillers. No. Leave it.
Oh, it's the tattoo.
Oh, it's the tattoo, yeah.
She was working KP and she burned her arm.
Well, how?
Pushed it right up against a pot.
Oh, she's trying to
Hide the bite.
I was like, here we go, and then I went.
What? Why?
No one saw it. I was on my own. And I took it off, and it was all red and melty and gross. You know what it smelled like?
Who saw this coming? I was eating my damn dinner.
It hurts. Ow!
Easy, baby girl. Easy.
Baby girl.
I just really wanted to wear short sleeves again. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You're okay.
So that happened.
All right.
All right. So then that happened, and then the tattoo.
Yep.
Like she said there, just wanted to wear sleeves again.
She's not moved in the garage yet.
Nope.
God damn it, Seth.
Hey.
Hey.
Happy 15th birthday, Eli.
Well, let's hope Seth bakes better than he spells.
He does. That's really good.
She's still high.
Stay right there. I got something else for you. Close your eyes. Okay, turn toward me. And open.
Whoa, what's this?
Some folks call this a guitar.
Guitar. Yes.
Took a bit of restoring. Real bone saddle here. And used a Dremel to carve the, well, it's a rotary drill. Or could be a saw depending on the tip. But actually it's a pretty versatile tool.
Sounded like Ted Lasso there for a minute.
Well, if you want a lesson later,
Let me hear something.
What do you mean, play it?
I'm saying.
No, I don't sing.
It's my birthday, man. See what you got.
I ever were to lose you.
I'm glad they didn't make him like. I was waiting to see if he was going to be like perfect, but this is good.
This is like almost Johnny Cash feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very,
He's not doing Eddie Vedder style here.
Our future days.
oh God, he was thinking about his daughter playing that.
That didn't suck.
I'm glad they incorporated a handful of tunes into this season. Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
I understand. Your happy birthday, kiddo.
Oof.
1 year later.
So when does Joel tell her?
It's a dinosaur.
You're not going to guess.
Wait. Is it a lot or a
Short sleeves.
A lotter? You mean a litter?
A lotter.
Is it a convertible?
The hell are you going to do with a convertible?
Ride it?
We cross here.
So this would mark her
What do you think it is?
16th birthday.
What do your instincts tell you?
Jesse said he'd train me if you let him.
Is there something going on between you two?
Excuse me?
We spent a lot of time together. Is it funny? I see the way you look at him. I got a keen eye for these sort of things.
I don't think you do.
Anyone talk to you about the birds and the bees?
Oh, you mean...
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, how much longer, man?
We're here.
Nice.
It is a dinosaur! Joel!
Like it? Whoa, Ellie. Oh my God. Careful.
Oh, that doesn't look too sturdy.
No.
No, there's a museum.
Yeah, no. If you don't fall off the goddamn T-Rex, I'll take you there.
How long have you known about this place?
Wow. I was saving it for a special day.
Huh.
Solar system.
He's got it wrong, though. Earth is in the middle.
Science.
It works?
Somebody must have greased it.
Somebody. Boy, they love breaking our hearts multiple times in this show, don't they? Getting to see all this.
Would you like to?
Like to what?
Go to space.
Is it real?
That one went up and back. Apollo 15, 1971.
Kind of glad they're showing like some history, right? Because kind of forget about that in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
No idea.
just trying to survive every day.
Well, in the turn that Ellie's character has taken, throughout the years and how she's aged and changed and everything else.
Whoa. Going up to space. You need a helmet.
She's so different from this person here.
Oh, she just turned 16. Current time is 19.
Yep.
2 years can make a change.
Pew. But the cover set. Abort.
That would suck if that door did get
30 seconds and counting. Astronauts reported feels good. T-minus 25 seconds.
That's awesome.
20 seconds.
I can see how it would take a lot of effort to find this.
Yeah.
That's 15 seconds. Guidance is internal.
especially to get it on cassette at that time. Woo!
2, 1, 0. All engines running. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
Is she gonna come back to something, or are we gonna go to a cutscene with this?
I do like how they put us in her mindset to actually like experience what it could be like.
I do okay.
Are you kidding me?
So nice getting to see Joel and Ellie like this. It's like so refreshing.
Oh,
See that little tear?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
We're going to see what she was looking at?
Oh, fireflies. All right, 17th
All right.
birthday.
Guess all of our complaints of the first season time jump, we just had to wait a little bit. Or first episode time jump.
Got it
And
right.
it's chocolate.
Got it right. Yeah, good call, too. Chocolate.
Let's see what her attitude is like as 17.
Well,
Because it does change, folks.
uh-oh.
Joel, what the?
Exactly. What the?
What are you even doing here? You're supposed to be on patrol.
I came home early to surprise you for your birthday. 17, by the way.
I'm gonna go.
What's that?
Oh, tattoo.
That's where the tattoo came in.
So all the teenage shit all at once, huh? Drugs and tattoos and sex, experimenting with girls.
It wasn't sex, and it wasn't a experiment.
Oh.
We'll discuss this later when you're yourself.
Ouch.
Well,
And that must be what led to the garage.
yep. And yep, just coming to check it out. That must be the mattress. Man, she's gonna take it out in the rain?
I guess.
She's that upset.
No, yeah, I definitely get it, but
What the hell are you doing?
Moving into the garage.
The hell you are, Ellie. Let go. Okay, you want to have this conversation? Fine. You may not like the rules, but this is my house.
No, it isn't. You don't own it. They gave it to you. Sorry, to us. You don't own anything.
well, she's kind of wrong.
I'm sorry that I got a tattoo and smoked weed and fooled around with a girl. Except I'm not.
Maybe it's a good thing for you to have your own space. Just give me a few days and let me fix things up a little out there.
This is crazy, right? Because this is all new for him. Because Sarah passed at an early age, and
It's a lot easier till you get to those years, I'm guessing.
Can I see? Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Like hell.
It's actually not bad. Better than the one I made on your guitar, anyway.
Okay, so he's being cool with everything. Ish.
I just read about them in a book on dreams and stuff. It's kind of symbolic.
Oh, right. Yeah, like change and growing and such.
Man, in 1 year, they grew apart so far.
Well, good night.
Hey.
I think that hit him. That realization.
You guys study dreams and stuff, right?
Is there a doctor's in sign on me like Lucy from Peanuts? Yes, some doctors studied dreams. The dumb ones mostly.
That probably means change and growth.
No, that would be a butterfly.
Oh, so what's a moth?
Death, if you believe in that shit.
Ooh, a greater purpose. I think our reveal is coming.
And now we're at 19.
19, yeah.
So we're not too far off from our current.
Yeah.
If the fireflies spotted us a mile from the hospital, how did they get surprised by an entire group of raiders?
Here comes the truth.
Whoa. Already dressed. You're 19 and you've been patient. So I told them I was okay with it.
With what?
Your first patrol.
I'll grab my coat.
And a gun.
Okay. Seems like things are good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're going to have the talk.
Even Joel's a totally different person here than what he was in the first episode this season.
Zero, this is the safest trail we got. Come on, binoculars.
Why? It's something out here.
So pretend, okay?
Well, keep in mind is
You stick with your partner, scan the countryside, be ready for anything.
Oh, shit.
What?
There's a little squirrel and a big Should probably report that.
Fine, we'll skip the scanning for now. I know you got stuff going on, but it'd be nice if we could do this kind of thing more often. Spend time together.
Teenagers spending time with their parents.
Yep.
That's not really a cool thing, you know?
This is Jackson. Come in.
Go for Cache Creek.
Infected North Pinnacle. Eugene and Adam need backup.
Eugene.
I'll be there in 10. Tell them to dig in.
Eugene got bit.
No.
Ellie, it's not safe. Go back.
I'm not your kid, Joel. I'm your partner. We stick together.
So this is where we find out about Eugene.
Yep.
Oh,
it's quite the cliff.
Easy there, Arthur Morgan.
We'll hike down from here. Faster than the switchback.
Ooh.
Oak, would you be doing that?
Well, depends on the situation. This situation, I think I'd be all right. As long as I had the right boots on.
Remember what I taught you?
I'm your back, you're mine.
Man. Ugh. Something comes up close, man, with that rifle.
Just better point.
Good news, though, because we already know the outcome, technically. Thanks to
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Come on.
Wow. Oh, it's an attention getter.
I love how they're highlighting just the teeniest crunches, too.
Yeah.
Now, those shoes I wouldn't want to hike down with. Answer.
Oh, whoops.
Oh.
Yeah. They were showing some mushrooms on the trees as well.
Oh, shit, Eugene.
Ellie, you clean?
Ooh, that's a no.
Are there any more?
Joel.
Are there any more? Whoa.
Oh, yeah, okay. So this is what we do. We go back to the gate. They let Gail out, keeping her at a safe distance, of course, and I say goodbye. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Oh.
You're empty.
Yeah.
Slides back.
Yeah.
Now count slowly, clearly, from 1 to 10.
1, 2, 3.
He's not making it to 10.
8, 9, 10.
Oh, I thought Joel's going to pop him.
We tie him up and we bring him back. Joel, let him see his wife. Please.
Get the horses, bring them down the trail. I'll start walking with him. We'll meet up with you.
Nope.
Meet up.
At first, I thought Ellie was going to be the one to take him out. And Joel covered.
See that look?
Yeah.
You get the horses.
I promise.
This is a big leap of trust for this
and
one.
He's promised before.
Yep, at the end of season 1.
Yep.
It makes you cold. The cordyceps? Which way?
Right here.
Head right.
What is he going to tell Ellie?
Oh, he's going to give him a view.
Oh, my.
It's beautiful.
Seems like he's already starting.
I need you to not turn around.
You can't do this to me.
If you have last words for her, I'll pass them along.
Last words for her.
Mm-hmm.
I need her last words. For me. I'm dying. I'm terrified. I need Gail to see her face, please. Please let that be the last thing I see.
If you love someone, you can always see their face.
No, he's going to do it.
I see her.
Oh, boy.
And there was.
There's the gunshot. Oh, that's so... I don't want to say cool given the circumstances, but the way they didn't give you the sound and they just showed the birds flying away.
Well, that was a Cypher from The Matrix, wasn't it?
Ooh, what are you going to say here?
She knows already. Heard the gunshot.
Sorry.
Now she's going to let it all... Oh, I thought I was going to be there. I guess not.
Like, that right there, that kind of promise betrayal, like...
Yep.
Oh.
And that's where...
radio ahead and let them know.
Yeah, Ellie's not going to be nervous about asking him about Salt Lake City now.
I'll tell Gail what she needs to know and nothing more. It's the right thing to do. Ellie, I had no choice.
Oh, it's confirming everything.
He was bit when we found him. Well, he wanted to tell you that he loved you. He wished he could say goodbye to you in person, but he didn't want to put you in danger.
Oh. Oh, boy.
He was brave, and he ended it himself.
Oh, boy.
That's not what happened.
Oh! You knew that was coming.
Oh, no.
He begged to see you. He had time. Joe promised to take him to you. He promised us both.
Holy shit.
Joe shot him in the head.
Get away. Please. Get away from me, please.
You swore.
Oh, she maybe she didn't even ever have to have the conversation because
she just knew from here.
Because of that, I promise.
He broke his promise.
Which makes sense. All right, I'll shut up so we can see.
Yep, and they were never the same after that.
Yeah, he's falling apart. I'm gonna give him to bed.
You're gonna miss the countdown.
Say goodnight to Uncle Grumpy.
Good night, Uncle Grumpy.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Yeah, so he missed Joel doing that to Seth.
What I said today about you being a refugee probably came off as ungrateful.
No, it's okay.
Well, I am grateful. You mean a lot to us, to all of us, especially to me and Tommy. What I'm trying to say is Uncle Grumpy is family.
Family.
It's a family event.
Sorry.
You get the hell out of here.
A walk. Come on. Let's go. What is wrong with you? I don't need your f***ing help.
Right.
Now we're back to the porch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wonder if there was more to the scene than what they showed us then in the first episode.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Where'd you get it?
People that came through last week. I'm a little embarrassed for what I traded to get it, but it's not bad.
Well, at least he had a coffee just before.
I had Seth under patrol.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't want to ever hear about you taking me off patrol again.
Okay. So, Dina, is she your girlfriend now?
No, I just want to kiss. Didn't mean anything. I don't know why she did that.
Look, I don't know what Dina's intentions are, but, well, she'd be lucky to have you.
You're such an asshole. You lied to me. You looked me in the eyes, and you lied. And it was the same face. But I think I knew already. So I'm gonna give you one last chance. Tell me what happened with the fireflies. If you lie to me again, we're done. Were there other immune people?
Oh, wow, look at that. Just a little bit of a shiver. The shaking.
Were there readers?
It's almost like the roles are reversed. Joel is acting like a little kid, right? Or a younger person now.
Care.
Wow.
And Marlene?
But can you explain the situation, though?
Making a cure would have killed you.
Then I was supposed to die. That was my purpose. My life would have fucking mattered, but you took that from me.
And I'll pay the price.
Oh.
Because you're going to turn away from me. But if somehow I had a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Because you're selfish.
Because I love you.
He said it.
In a way you understand. Maybe you never will. But if that day should come, if you should ever have one of your own,
He's going to say the dad line.
I hope you do a little better than me.
Yep. Same line as his dad.
I don't think I can forgive you for this, but I would like to try.
This is present day.
Yep, she just did it.
There we are. Okay, so she got out.
God, what a great episode.
That one was good. That one was good. Unreal. I mean, that was impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I know we had questions in the beginning, through the episodes. Yep. I feel like, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but kind of got a lot of those answers in this one. For some of the thoughts I was having, like whys in early episodes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this explains why they did the whole time jump and everything. And I've said this before on the channel with shows that are series. Had this been released like on a Netflix where it's like, here you go, here's everything all at once, I think it plays out very differently. I think a lot of folks, including myself, were impatient to know what happened. We did this massive 5-year time jump, right? 5-year time jump. And everything
from the end of
is
episode 1.
Yeah.
Or season.
From
season to season.
Yeah, from the seasons. So to me, that was wild because you have so many questions. Why is the relationship this way? Why are they acting the way they do? So many whys. And this episode, the penultimate episode, they took the time to explain all of that. I mean, we got Joel's background, who he's always been with Tommy, what the situation was with his dad, and that everything they did in the episode led to the final few moments there between Joel and Ellie, which I really liked. I absolutely loved the relationship that Joel and Ellie had those first couple of years, because that mirrors reality where, up to, the 14, 15, parents are incredible. In a typical situation, your mom, your dad, they're your hero. They can do no wrong. They show you all the cool stuff. And it's a completely different relationship. And I really appreciate how they showed that versus when your child gets a little bit older and then they start finding their own way in this world. And as a parent, I thought Joel did just a magnificent job showing how hard that is to let go and to trust them and to know that they're going to be their own person. They have to make their own choices. So I love that. And Joel, this is all new to him. As you said, Diamond Dave, he lost his daughter so young. He never had to go through any of this. So this is all brand new for Joel. And, oh, by the way, you're going to do this all the apocalypse on top of it, as if it's not hard enough as it is to come to grips with, your child growing up, having them find their own way. They're becoming their own person. And this whole episode was just magnificent at showing that. I cannot put it over enough how much, if I got nothing else out of this episode, I loved the growth and the difference in Ellie and Joel's characters and how they changed throughout the episode as time went by. And at the end there, I don't know if it'll make the cut, as I got an eyelash in my eye. Sure, that's what it is. At the end there, when they were having that final conversation, and again, I don't know if it'll make the cut, but to me, Joel felt like he was the child having to explain to the parent what happened and what he did. He didn't say anything. He was just shaking his head, yes or no. And he obviously had the tears in his eyes. And it was very much reminded me of Joel being his younger version again, of him being a kid again and having to explain to his dad. And that was the way that whole situation felt to me. And I liked that they showed Ellie understanding but not forgiving at the end. I think that's important to note the difference, to understand and forgive. Because Joel opened up to her and said, it kind of explained everything that he's never had a chance to say or never had to say before, because again, their relationship was so different those first 4 years of how they got around, the fun they were having, the way they looked at each other and the way they interacted. So again, it all came to this. If this had been released all at once, I think this whole season would be very different for a lot of folks. But yeah, to me, that's just the masterclass. I know there's a bunch of other stuff they hit on here, but the big thing for me was the way those two acted towards each other. I friggin' loved it.
Yeah, it was real fun to see them with Ellie in a younger space where, she could appreciate the dinosaurs, the space museum, everything a lot more. And we saw her as she grew and grew older and how she changed totally from being a young girl to being a young adult and having totally different things. As we saw the one birthday, she had a girl in her room. She was getting a tattoo, so that's, like you're saying, totally new to him because obviously he never had those experiences before. But we saw in this whole episode that no matter who it is, Joel, if he loves you, he will protect you at all costs, whether it was his brother to his dad and then Ellie to anyone and everyone. And, finally getting that out at the end where she said she pretty much knew the whole time, but them having that scene together was great. And I'm so happy that it did happen before, what happened to Joel the next day. So it was nice that they ended on, a good note. And she said, I'll never forgive you, but I want to try. So at least they ended on some good terms.
Yeah, because we were led to believe that didn't happen.
Yeah, we thought she just walked right past.
Yeah,
so
never
it's like,
got to say goodbye.
So that was what I think even in her review for that episode, we're like, oh man, that has to be her last memory was that. So it was nice to see that. And then, what I loved too was when he was looking at the moths, she had written down, you have a greater purpose. Mm-hmm. So maybe that was also playing into a part where she knew as well that maybe with her being immune, she had a greater purpose, like how she voiced to Joel at the end. All right, voice done.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played the game, so I don't know how much of this is straight from the game. And so part of me wants to say, the writing for this episode. But again, I don't know how much is pulled from the game. But this episode was absolutely brilliant. And the thing that really hits hard for me for this particular episode is anytime we have a post-apocalyptic world like this, there's always going to be an issue with relatability. We live in much different times, so it's, we hypothesize so much. Well, if we were in that situation, we would act like this. And if we were in this situation, we would, do this. And it's so hard sometimes to relate to the subject matter that's being, presented to you with the post-apocalyptic show. This felt so relatable because you didn't have, the first half of the episode, it wasn't post-apocalyptic really. It was just a father with his daughter. And, my little guy's pretty young, but my brother and sister, or my two brothers, my sister rather, have their teenagers and from what they've said. And of course, just going through your own experience. This episode was so relatable. And as a parent now, it's the one thing that it might sound cliche, but any parent knows it to be true. You have no idea how much your parents love you until you become a parent of your own. It's not something that you can comprehend until you're in that situation. And so a child will never know the lengths that a parent will go to protect them, because as a child, you can't comprehend until you have a child of your own what your parents feel for you. And some people could try to argue that. I just don't think it's possible. And so for Joel at the end, to say he would do it all again. Like, that moment was so real and so raw, because that's what any parent would do. I mean, look, I would, this is, and to try to sound heroic, whatever. I think any parent would do it, but I would sacrifice myself like this right now, no questions asked, for my son's life. Say, hey, I'm 45. I've had a real good run. If I had to sacrifice myself for my son's life, I would do it without thinking twice. And this might sound bad. I think there's a lot of people that might be able to relate. I wouldn't, if I was put in the exact same situation as Joel right now with my son, I wouldn't sacrifice my son. I wouldn't sacrifice my son for the entire fucking world. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. And that's what made this episode so relatable when Joel came back and said, I would do the exact same thing again. Because any parent knows, like, oh, hey, you could not even a guarantee, but you could potentially save all these people. You just got to sacrifice your own kid. I might sound bad, but not for the fucking world. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. I would do what Joel did 100 times over. And that's what made this episode brilliant. And, when I was a little bothered by the way Ellie was acting a little bit when she came out and was like, that's not what happened. But you also have to remember, when you're that age, there's a lot of things you don't understand about what adults have to go through. And certainly kids are very mature. And obviously in this post-apocalyptic world, the kids have to be a lot more mature than they would in a normal world. But you still, when there's limited life experience, you don't always know the things that an adult has to go through. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. But you have to remember, she's a teenager here, right? So,
and she's been hurt, and she was already on to that a little bit.
And it's like, but there was
the second he did it again.
And there was look, Joel said we have rules. So it was, from what it seemed like, they have rules in place.
Both of them knew the rules.
And the other guy wasn't following the rules, so he was putting, well,
don't forget, because Ellie made it very apparent that the 10 count was part of those rules, because she's like, hey, he counted to 10, there was no issues, he has time.
Yeah,
so that's part of the rules.
Yeah, I don't know if that was it or how much time they could have. Joel was being a stickler, but look, in Joel's defense as well, like, Joel's not out there by himself. He's out there with Ellie, and they have to go back with this guy, with Ellie. So it's like, so Eugene kind of people might disagree, agree, whatever. Eugene kind of put Joel in a bad spot, knowing he's traveling with let's call it his daughter, He's traveling with her. They have to go all the way back. It's not necessarily a short trip. I mean, Joel said it took him 10 minutes to get there on horseback to where they were going. And that's not, that's whatever distance they are away. So there was a lot at risk there. But again, the relatability of this episode was just really next level. The performances by Bella, the performances by Pedro were incredible. And for me, as far as a build up to the final episode, this was giving us the backstory and all the really raw emotion and everything that happened. And to see Ellie say, I don't know if I can forgive you. I'm like, oh shit. And then she's like, but I can try. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that is what takes you into, kind of the rest of the season, knowing that they went through a lot. And even after everything they've been through, she really wanted things to get better. And now you see like so much of her pain because she got to that point where she wanted to make things better, and that opportunity was taken away from her. And so it really ties so much together. This episode was absolutely phenomenal. Again, the acting all the way around, but everybody involved, the writing, the way they shot everything. This episode was incredible.
The finale is going to have a hard time topping this.
Well, before we get to that, so in this episode, I loved how they started it off with showing Joel willing to protect his brother, especially with in the early 80s. You could say what you want. There was a lot of things that definitely wouldn't reflect well today, but it was a different time then. Wow. And I'm not saying whatever a parent did was right or wrong, but it was just different times. So it was cool to see his dad say that line, I hope you just do a little bit better than me. Because that to me is that line right there is pretty impactful because you hope that whether you're a parent or whether you've watched over someone and you just hope like, hey, I hope they do better than I ever could in whatever regard. It could be whatever regard. So that was pretty cool to how they kicked off this episode, and then finally basically catching up on that whole 5 years in a very good, fast fashion. But they helped put the puzzle pieces, which, you probably center around, there was a couple things going on, but you weren't 100% sure just yet. Of course, maybe you already knew if you played the game, but if not, for like us, we were trying to put the pieces together because that's what we do. We talk out what's going through our heads with our thoughts to try to put the puzzle pieces together with each other. So want to make sure that's highlighted in this review. So kind of going through that, at one point when he did the whole I promise thing, right, she comes back and sees it. I was even wondering if they had the conversation because to me right there, that stamped that he lied and that she didn't really have to have the conversation, right? They could have ended, they could have did that and would have been cool, right? But I'm glad that they actually had the conversation, and I'm glad that he at least got out, it would have killed you. Because I feel like at the way he was going, he wasn't going to say anything. Yeah. But I was like, that's one pretty important piece that should be said out loud. And then whatever happens, it just happens, right? Yep.
But like Ellie was saying, at least then her life would have, and I get where she's coming from the point my life would have had meaning. It would have meant something. Yep. Because now she could fall off a horse and break her leg or crack her skull open or something. And it would be for nothing.
No, I definitely 100% agree where she's coming from. And I think we were talking, I'd have to go back and look again, but I thought we were kind of doing a couple of viewpoints of Joel's decision there. And she said it, that was selfish. One person, if we take ourselves out and just kind of do the whole overview, one could definitely say that was a very selfish move because he didn't need to do that when there was at least very high potential. I'm not going to say 100% because I don't know if the way that Marlene, if I remember correctly, was saying it could have made a cure. She wasn't like, this is 100% happening, but maybe I'm not remembering correctly. But again, that decision that Joel made to lie to her, we were wondering if that was going to come back. I'm glad they had the conversation. Especially again with the way it went down there, because now we know the next night or next day, so that makes that whole thing even harder. And again, back to Ellie and her and her point of view, like 100% totally understandable that hey, you should have just let this happen to me so I could at least get a cure. But again, Joel was looking at as like, now I love you. I don't know if he kept referring to himself as a parent, but he never really referred to her as daughter. I just love you, but you'll never know as a parent, which is true too. And it was cool to see Joel stay committed to that too. Like I would do it again because I love you. So any parent, if it was their kid, definitely like you said, Dave, probably 99.9%, I'll say, because you never know. There might be that one, but would go ahead and say, yep, I'm saving them. Now, even if it's not really your kid, but you've grown a bond and you knew that he or she didn't know the end result was end of your life, that's where I think it's fantastic writing, because now you're putting yourself in a situation like, oh, shit, like, what would I do knowing it's not my kid, but I have the situation that Joel just went through with Sarah, X amount of years prior to the now, where he was pretty cold in season 1 up to a certain point, and then boom, that's when he locked in. I'm going to protect you with basically all cost. So now back to Eugene here. That whole situation was absolutely wild. With the setup of the rules, the Joel saying, we got these rules, and then Ellie, knowing some of the rules, gave him the 10 count. Man, that was wildly interesting on how that all played out with at the end where Joel said you could see everyone, if you love them that much, you could see their face, and then gave him a nice view. And I think you and I were talking, well, all of us probably said something, but that you didn't, all you heard is a little boom. Not like a bang, like a gunshot, but you heard a little tiny little boom in the sound design, and then the birds flying. That was a really cool way of them showing that, yep, Joel did it.
Oh, so different.
So many other shows, when they don't want to show it, you just hear the gunshot, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's very, very common in shows where they don't want to show it, and it's very impactful. So I'm not even saying that that's a bad thing, but it's that's what they do. We don't want to show it. You hear the gunshot, it's done. And for them to, I didn't even hear it, to be honest with you. Just saw the birds go. It was
just like the softest boom.
It was like that is very. It's different. It gets the point across, and it almost preserves the moment because you just get the scenery of the birds flying. You know what happened.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Eugene a little bit because, again, if you put yourself in the shoes and you knew by the 10 count,
I'm fine.
hey, we can make it. There might be a couple minutes left, but I just need to hear her voice one more time. Like, man, the way... Because the way they were building that up, which, by the way, seeing the relationship between Ellie and Joel go on that roller coaster was phenomenal. Now we get this point, and it's just like, holy shit. Like, now you got to look at a perspective from Eugene. Like, hey, we may have only 2 minutes when we get there, but I just need to hear her voice one last time.
Well, and from his standpoint, it's like, hey, if you tie me up, throw me on the back of the horse, well, what kind of threat can I really be outside of... I guess if he could release some kind of spores or something into the air, but that would be, really about it.
And to Joel, he has been very consistent about, at least from my standpoint, maybe I'm forgetting something, but been very consistent by the rules with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't take chances anymore.
No chances. So, episode 2 of season 2 here was very impactful, but this one is by far my favorite so far.
This was good.
Damn, and the little subtle things like him saying "baby girl" again, the guitar.
I have that written down.
Some of the other items.
I like the way he cracked the smile on the horse when Ellie talked about the squirrels, and his back was to her, but he still laughed and smiled about it, but she couldn't see it.
And and I think we kind of touched it on it in the reaction there. I loved how they were kind of incorporating to show a little bit of history, because again, being in the apocalypse, it's probably not always the first thing on your mind. Hey, let's go check out this museum quick because we got some time. And
I think it was, that was somebody.
Not enough danger already.
Look, that was a dad just wanting to do special things for your kids' birthdays, and in a world where hey, it's Saturday, Sunday, let's go have family day isn't really a thing. You would try as a parent to do something special, and he obviously made a very
in that tier in the spaceship. That was
cool. Very concerted effort to try to make the birthday's a special thing, and he did that. The fact that he was found the T-Rex, he greased up the solar system model, and.
And to show just how far Joel will go, I like that they had the interaction with Joel and Seth to show them that they had history. Seth just wasn't some background character who we didn't know saying what he said. That was somebody that Joel went to on a regular basis to get things. I would assume they had some kind of relationship or maybe even a friendship, but we saw that the moment that anybody did or say anything to Ellie, it didn't matter. It didn't matter who you were. He got knocked on his ass, despite being probably his friend, to some level, I would think. So I thought that was interesting, and it was good that they had that in there, because prior to that, we didn't know who this guy was, just always just some background, character that they throw in there.
Yeah, and again, I love how the show made you, well, at least makes you think from a perspective of Ellie, Eugene, Joel again, and maybe a couple other characters in here too that they showed. But I love how, again, with apocalypse stuff, you just put yourself in their perspective quick, and it's just wild what your mind can do on that. A shout out to all the actors and the cast and crew for this episode. All y'all did phenomenal.
Yeah, and we got Catherine O'Hara's perspective as well, because she had talked about the Eugene, and how she felt about it, but she was very compartmentalized when we saw her earlier in the season, and now we got the why, and not only the why, but it's always more impactful when you see it, how it went down.
She said it, but we didn't see how it all went down.
And how Joel lied to her face and then had to be set straight. So
and then
more
Ellie
impact.
on top of that. Talk about another impactful moment with Ellie just, nope, that's not how it went down. And then just rolled right into every beat of how that went down. Just Joel's look and then the anger on Ellie's face after.
Well, anger and sadness too. She was crying as it was happening.
Well, yeah,
you
she
know?
was
So,
angry and destroyed because of the lie.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say, and there haven't really been many nitpicks throughout the course of this season. When they brought Eugene back, because we saw in previous episodes people washing. Remember, after the big, invasion, we saw people washing bodies and stuff like that. And Joel tells Gail, "Hey, he ended it himself." Had she said, "Okay, I want to take his body and wash his body," it would have became very apparent that wasn't something that he did himself. So for me, a little bit of a, and I don't know if that's customary, but it's
it would have become an issue.
It would have become very clear, likely that's not something that he had actually done himself. So a little bit of a...
Well, remember, they were doing prep before Tommy came in, too. So there could have been a chance where
but
they set him up all right.
Had they taken him out of the wrap to wash him, it would have been very apparent that it wasn't self-inflicted. And so that there would have been something there. I would have... thought he would have told her he wanted you to be safe. He wanted to have a view. He asked me to do it. I did it, versus saying that, he did it himself, which again, had there been any sort of, and maybe they have policy where you're wrapped up like that and they do the pyre thing and they never unwrap them. But again,
well, the wraps were different, right? He came in on the white one, and then when they showed him, he was covered in blue. So maybe,
it might be
something different there.
Yeah. So
but
again,
I get what you're saying.
that's kind of the only kind of, hey, wait a minute, this could have ended up being problematic with the writing, but otherwise this episode was phenomenal.
Well, and real quick too, the devastation of like you were saying with Ellie there, the anger that she expressed was fantastic, and then the devastation of Joel. And then Catherine O'Hara, that whole scene with all the actors here, and it was just phenomenal. Yeah. And kind of to your point there, I'm curious to how you folks took Joel, in that moment of him really, really taking a big lie there in front of Ellie to another level, because I don't know if I would have said that. I probably would have been, if I was Joel in that moment, I would have been like, hey, I would have told the truth, except for maybe, the 10 count. That one I could probably see because of him bypassing a little bit, just because of what he was telling Ellie on the way there. But I definitely.
But this, in this scene bothered me a little bit, because this shows the difference between a grown adult and a teenager, and the difference between Ellie, who has been throughout the entire series acted on emotion and not rational thinking. Joel telling Gail what he said was what was best for Gail. What was best for Gail. Ellie did not help the situation at all. Yes, she knows the truth, but at the end of the day, her husband got bit and he was going to lose his life. And Joel did the adult thing and told his wife that he went out bravely and provided her with a level of comfort that Gail could have lived with moving forward, this level of comfort that he got bit. He was in a bad situation. He was brave. He opted out with the best interest of everybody. Now, because Ellie said the truth, yes, she knows the truth, but Gail also has to move forward now with the pain. It's like, look, when you...
I don't think Ellie was even considering that.
No, Ellie,
I don't think
she was so angry. She was so angry.
But beyond, she's not even considered, this whole scene, to me, the way I took it, it's not about Eugene and Catherine O'Hara's character. It's Ellie seeing Joel for just, he's a regular guy. He's not the Superman anymore that she thought he was, and realized that he has faults. And that was her just calling him out. The fact that it involved Eugene and Catherine O'Hara's character is collateral damage.
Right.
That was her calling out Joel.
Right. But you could have, the thing is that Ellie spoke and so she didn't have to say it in front of Gail. Ellie spoke in front of Gail and provided Gail, I won't say provided, gave her a sense of pain that she will live with forever. It would be no different if let's say hypothetically they came upon Eugene and he was getting torn apart and dying some horrible, painful death. And granted, Joel had nothing to do with it, but he went through this excruciatingly painful death, and he was crying and scared and all this. And versus, let's say it happens the way Joel says it. Oh no, he got bit. He was brave. He thought about you. It's like at the end of the day, do you want to tell somebody's spouse like, oh yeah, we got there, and he was being torn apart and bit in the jugular and he was screaming in excruciating pain. At that point, for me, the person's passed, and it's almost a gift to tell the family what didn't happen.
Yeah. But
so
again, Ellie's not.
Again, this is Ellie being mad at Joel, and taking her anger out at Joel with zero regard for Gail. So I didn't like that.
But that's the moment he did that is when she like officially had the confirmation and saw
I know
for who she was.
That.
Yeah.
But the thing is right. But
and I get it doesn't change it.
She didn't have
Gail,
to. Right.
And
so
she didn't have to do it.
Joel could have said that, and they could have walked away from the situation. Gail thinks her husband went out brave and this and that. They walk away. Ellie confronts Joel later and saying, "You lied. I know you're a liar. You're lying."
But she was mad at Joel for lying to her.
Right.
And
so
he's like, you're not going to get away with that. You're not going to lie again like you lied to me.
Was another
for better
lie.
or for worse. I see what you're saying.
So, but what I'm saying is because Ellie was so mad at Joel in that time, this is a conversation she could have had with Joel 3 minutes later, and Gail could have had a sense of peace about her husband's passing. So for me, I didn't like that. I'm not saying I didn't like the writing. It just, and in fact, I think that the writing itself is brilliant because it goes along with Ellie's character, how she's impulsive, she's 19.
I think it was 100% realistic on what would really happen.
I'm saying that, and that's why I'm saying it's
it's good that you had a different, I'm glad you highlighted that because it sounded like you were attacking the writing a little bit.
No, I'm not attacking the writing at all. No, the writing is spot on. It shows what an impulsive, I'm glad we talked this through. No, it shows what an impulsive 19-year-old who is very angry at the time would do. And that's what I'm saying is that Ellie being 19, being impulsive, and it's not just any 19-year-old would do that. She's very impulsive. And we know that through her whole character.
And they've highlighted that several times.
And so what I'm saying is the character did something that she was so mad at Joel. She did something without regard for Gail's feelings because she was impulsive. No, the writing on it's brilliant. The way they wrote it, because it's very like what a very emotional, angry, hurt 19-year-old would do. No, the writing for this, again, the gunshot wound, that is whatever, but we don't know their customs, as you guys said. I didn't catch that. He came back, he was wrapped in the blue, so maybe they do that. But that's not a beef with the writing at all. I thought that was brilliant. So
yeah, overall.
Well, there you have it.
Bravo to the crew on this one.
We could tell you what, just
Quinn,
you know what?
I want to do it.
Let him do it.
I'm going to be like the guy in Princess Diaries too. So hope you all enjoying it as much as we are. So we're Evelyn Oak, Diamond Dave. That's Mason Quinn. I'm of course the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.